Hello, welcome to the Women's Cave.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, I know.
We had such peace yesterday.
We did.
We had signed one of those little thingies. What are they called?
Treaty. Yeah, it was like we signed a treaty, but yeah, that didn't last long. Just joking.
Yeah. It's kind of like the world's whole. Never mind.
We don't talk about that. Our show was silly. What's wrong with you?
I know, exactly.
What's wrong with you? That's crazy.
By the way, we should probably introduce ourselves.
Oh yes, I'm Jade.
And I'm Winona.
Yay!
And we are the co-authors and co-founders
of the And I Thought Ladies and the And I Thought series.
Wait. I just want to say real quick. See, she got to steal Woman's Cave, so I got to steal co-authors and co-founders. And let me say, I did it like a masterpiece.
Wow. And I'm not even going to address that this morning because it's early. So I don't even care. She hasn't
had coffee.
And I haven't had coffee. Well, I had like this much coffee. Like this much.
She didn't bring me.
I had just a little bit of coffee. It was great. If I didn't have coffee, you guys know I still have a cold again. So you guys know I wouldn't have been able to make it.
She didn't bring me none. I know I'm allergic. I'm desperately allergic to coffee.
No seizures in the morning. I'm just going with no seizures in the morning. No seizures in the morning. But anyway, our books, the book series, the And I Thought series, available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and you can get our personalized copy with our chicken scratch from AndWeThought.com.
What? See, I'm going to steal that next time. So the next time I'll be saying chicken scratch because I'm always talking about ineligible, Oh, it's too cute. Wait till I say it at the end and look adorable saying it, by the way.
So, Winona, I love this dress. It's nice.
Really?
Yes, it's nice.
It's my emergency dress. You guys, if you like it, please comment.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking
because you
about
know she's a narcissist.
I know.
You already know. But you guys are here first because we know that you don't come to our show first. So
you don't click on it if we just talk about us.
Yeah, so that's but also check us out on the Chrissy B show. It's up now.
Oh, we were in London, in case you don't know what she's talking about. Yeah, so Chrissy B show. We were in London. It was fun. Yay.
It's fun.
Yes, check us out. We're on YouTube. Also check out the new London Ladies Men versus Women. We talk about men and women in the US and the UK. And it actually gets a little serious, but it's a whole lot of silly.
Yeah, it is. It's great. So, look, we have a wonderful guest today, and actually, I love her book. It's awesome.
Yes, Jade has been definitely the person going, get her! Bring her on the show!
So, I love her book. And I'm sure she's going to share it with you right now, our lovely guest.
Miss, what's your name again?
Jamison?
Yes, hi.
You got it right.
Because it kind of reminds me of a liquor I like to drink, so I'm excited.
Well, good morning. I'm so happy to be here.
Have you.
Yep.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks so much for the opportunity. My name is Sharon Jamison, and I am an author and a speaker and a minister and a business owner. And my most loving job, I'm a mom. I have a 22-year-old son who just finished college, so I'm excited about that.
Yay.
And, yes, no more tuition, so happy about that. But I would say one of my joys, my heart desire is that I get to have a chance to spend time with women like you, people who are already very successful, people who are already living a wonderful life, but want more. And they know that they are still living lower than God intended them to be. So I'm really excited to be able to share that message, not only in this country, but now internationally. So I'm happy about that. So thanks so much for the opportunity to share with both of you today. And I hope you feel better too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm starting to learn to live with the cold. It's cool. It's cool.
It's not cool.
It's not cool, but
she's doing the best she can, I guess. But you said internationally. So where have you been internationally? We always love international.
Well, yes, so far I have presented in Mexico and Dominican Republic. I will be in India at the World Conference in May. So I'm really excited about that. I will be in Nigeria. I participated in an anthology called I Bared My Chest with 21 women. And one of the co-founders of that I Bared My Chest anthology is an actress and speaker and author from Nigeria. Her name is Alex Okoye. So I'm really, really excited to be part of that process. And so I'm going to be over there. And I'm just really excited. I look forward to a lot of travel in 2017 because I already have 3 books, but I have a new book coming out in December calling Deciding to Soar. It's all small quotes, small wisdom. So I'm really excited about that. Then I'm part of 3 anthologies. One is called I Bare My Chest with 21 women. We are raising $1 million for yes, and we're all over the country. We're really excited. We talk about our issues of depression and abuse and molestation and feeling disempowered. We talk about all of that. So that comes out, I think, in February. Then I'm part of another anthology from Australia called The Unstoppable Women of Purpose. And again, I think we're like 25 women, and we're all over the country, all over the world, and talking about how we were able to overcome odds, how we are unstoppable in the face of adversity. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm part of Kim Cole's From My Living Single. She has a book called The Gifts. And so I think it's 21 of us. I don't know how many, but that comes out. And then I have my own book coming out, another personal book coming out in April called The 50 Choices to a Good Life. So hopefully I'm going to be speaking a lot, but I'm really, really grateful for the opportunities and to share stories that just because you had a bad past doesn't mean that it's going to impact your future. And so I get to share stories. So thanks so much for letting me come and share with both of you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
There was no way in the world that we were going to come across somebody who had an anthology with women in it, and you've written in it and not invite you, because that's what we do.
That's what we do. That is what we do. This is what the And I Thought series is all about.
We have 5 anthologies of ladies around the country and world, and that's what we talk about. We get them all together, 11 different ladies, and then we write together on different subjects. Yeah. And voila.
That's wonderful.
There's no way in the world we were going to be like, oh no, she's in that. No, we're not. No, we definitely. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I celebrate that. Thank you so much. I published an anthology in January of this year called The Strength of My Soul, Story of Sisterhood, Triumph, and Inspiration. And we had 27 women in that story. And we had women from South Africa, Canada, can't even remember, and here, and we talked about everything. The women were Black, white, straight, gay, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist. We brought all of our stories together because I wanted to show that even in the midst of diversity, there's still unity.
Oh my goodness. This is why I was like, you have to come on, because absolutely we share that all the time with all of our people. We say that problems or bad things happen to everyone. And people rise. And since one of our books, number 4, and I thought I did my journey alone, is basically addressing that these 11 ladies, yes, they all had bad things that happened to them, and they all recognized that they were not walking in their journey alone. There were like other people out there, so they didn't feel so bad, because you know how you feel bad when you're like, it's only me, it's only happening to me. It's not. It's happening to other people. So, and then you can learn from their experience.
I agree with you, sis. I think it's so important for women to share our stories, because I think when we feel isolated, we feel disempowered. Mm-hmm. But if I knew that another woman went through depression or gone through molestation or abuse or been in jail, we had one of our authors has served like 14 years in prison. Oh. We know that we can overcome that and we can share our stories. It really gives us each other permission to share our wounds, and our wounds don't win. Your wounds only win when you keep them inside. But if I'm able to release that toxicity and share my story with you, and you share your story with me, I get empowered by talking to you, and you get empowered by talking with me. I think our stories are important. And I think that so many times, especially in the Black community, we have been taught so much shame about sharing. And so we don't share. And so as a result, all of us stay sick, because our stories make us sick. Our secrets keep us sick. What happens if we share? We liberate each other, and we liberate each other from our pain. And so I'm really excited about it. We won an India Award on that book. And so I'm hoping to do volume 2. And I'll probably start on that at the end of this year.
That's awesome. Did you say you won an award?
Yeah, we won the Literary India Award. Okay,
I just wanted to make sure I heard it the first time, but it went by so fast. I wanted to make sure our audience heard it again.
Thank you. Yes, we won it. We won it in, I think, June, and it was for the Anthology of the Year. And I'm so excited. And many of our writers were first-time writers.
Yeah.
And our youngest writer was 13. Our oldest writer was 72. And like I said, we had every race, every culture, every class, every orientation, and it was wonderful. We had one lady who shared her story. She was pregnant at 12 and had a baby at 13, but and that's just her story. But her story before the story is that her mother was murdered by her boyfriend. And her mother took her to live with her grandmother, and her grandmother didn't talk about sex.
Yeah.
And at 12 years old, she's pregnant, and she talks about that experience being in a delivery room at 13 years old. And so she had her baby in 7th grade and went back to school to 8th grade because she had her baby in the summer. And she talks about what was that experience like and how it was such a blessing that the whole community around her, and they never made her feel shame, but they made her feel that she could raise the kid. The father was 15. He was in the parent's life, in the child's life.
God.
Yeah, she finished high school, went to college, and this is an amazing story. The book has so many amazing stories. We have one story of a lady who was raised in foster care. Her mother was an addict, and she had 5 brothers and sisters, and the state took away all of her brothers and sisters, and so she grew up and never met them. And so now, unfortunately, when she was 12 years old, 13, she had 3 kids by the time she was 16, and she left her kids, and how she had to deal with that guilt of repeating the same cycle that her mother repeated on her, but how she was able to heal, and now she has reunited with her kids, and they have really close relationships. I mean, just an amazing stories in this book, The Strength of My Soul. I'm so proud of these women. Yes.
So, like, is that intimidating?
What's intimidating?
It's intimidating. There's like 20, there's 26 stories in here, and when it's your turn to write, it's like, is it intimidating to be like, all right, I have to write something awesome, my story?
No, I don't think it's intimidating at all. I thought it was very refreshing. And that's why because I had a chance to bring the women together. And my story, when I think about my little story in the book, is nothing compared to their stories. I'm thinking, like, I just went over depression. I'm thinking, y'all are dealing with abuse and prison. And we had one lady who's a singer, a gospel singer. She was raped by her pastor. And the bishop now is serving time in prison.
Oh, wow.
So I thought, when I put all my stories, I felt like my stories paled in comparison. But this is what we have to do as women. We can't put each other's stories on a hierarchy and say your story is harder than mine, because you know what? We all are wired differently. Mm-hmm. We all have different capacities to handle pain. So maybe a person's depression was just as deadly as death. So we got to be careful, because I think we do that all the time. We try to say, oh, my pain is greater than your pain, and your pain is greater than my pain. And what we do is we nullify each other, and we negate each other's experience, and and that's not good. It's just another way of not honoring each other or not honoring each other's experience. And so I never care about other people's stories. I'm just always happy that they have the courage to share. And when I see them sharing, it gives me more courage to share. But that's
absolutely
a great question.
From experience with that, absolutely. But as you went to the African American community and how we are taught to basically keep all of our problems, our stresses inside, how do we overcome that?
Yes. I think it's a multifactorial challenge. I think some of the challenge is to, one, model what it looks like to share, and to share from a healthy place. I tell many of my clients, you share from your scars, not share from your open wounds. Right. Because if we share for our wounds, we just bleed on people, and nobody gets the opportunity to understand and see your healing. And so you share after you healed, so people can understand that healing is possible. So I think that's one thing. We have to share from our healthy place. You don't want to bleed on people. We want to show people that you can be triumphant. So I think that we have to model that. 2, I think we have to create safe spaces. I think many times there's not a lot of safe spaces for people to share, and so they don't. I think that share. When I talk about share spaces, we have to demonstrate that healing is good. For example, in the church, we have to talk about therapy is good. You need prayer. You might need a prayer and a pill, or you might need prayer and psychology. We have to say that that's okay. We have to also provide healing circles for women. In Africa, we have those healing circles when women come together. But however, what happens is that when you get a lot of women together and nobody addresses their brokenness, instead of sharing, we hurt each other. Instead of sharing the gospel, we share gossip. And we just peel it and diminish each other because we don't know how to share from a loving place. But you can never share from a loving place if you don't love yourself. So, and that's why we women, we beat each other up. So we have to heal each other and to let people know that this is how to be in community with each other from a place of strength and a place of competence and confidence. And we have to share that. So I think that we have to do that. But then I think there's this institutional, societal, political place where women are very disenfranchised in society. And so I think we have to speak it and know that we're oppressed politically, we're oppressed economically, we're oppressed socially, and not bring that oppression in our sacred spaces. So we can only do that when we acknowledge it. We acknowledge that we're the only Black person or the Black woman at work and people are coming at us. Acknowledge it, but don't bring that toxicity into our sacred spaces. But we got to give people permission to be honest. And so I think that it's multifactorial. And I think that we have to approach it in a variety of ways: spiritually, emotionally, politically, economically, and financially. And I think all those places come together because we want to be healthy, but we also want to be whole and holy. And all those come together and wholesome. It all comes together.
Indeed.
Exactly. I love how you said, first of all, I love how you said that women were disenfranchised and oppressed, but then as a Black woman, you end up with the race disenfranchised, and then you end up with the fact of your sex being disenfranchised. This is interesting because when you said to build a safe place, and if you're like the only Black woman at work, I mean, it feels like when you take your work home, you've like invited it into your safe place. So it's almost like you have to buy out a safe place for yourself. That's why we have the women's cave. But
we do. That's why we have the women's cave, and we appreciate all of you guys coming into the women's cave with us. This is our safe place.
But I also recognize you mentioned clients. So I'm assuming that you have a safe place built for this?
Oh, yes. Well, I think a safe place to me is here in my heart and in my spirit. That's my safe place. And I do therapy or counseling. I call it caring. I don't even call it counseling, to help people to create their own safe space, because you take yourself with you everywhere you go, right?
Right.
So our safe place has to be in our spirit. And then we take our safe place out into the world and we create different safe spaces. So I try to create safe spaces in a variety of ways. One is in my spirit, but then in a community group when I do a lot of group coaching, and that's why I do group coaching. It's really healing circle, but I can't say that because people don't want to hear that. But it's really a healing circle. Kind of the same thing that you two are doing now. It's the same, you know. I call it a healing circle. But then I also do live events where women can come together in the spirit of confidentiality, in the spirit of spirituality, in the spirit of sisterhood. We can share it that way. So I think it's a variety of ways that you create safe spaces. But this is what I do know, and I'm sure you already see this from your experience. We have to show women and teach women how to create safe spaces, because what happens is we haven't seen it. Some people have grown up in toxic environments, and we don't know what it means to be able to communicate and disagree agreeably. We don't know that conflict is not an invitation to fight; it's an invitation to grow. We don't know that we can disagree with each other and without hating each other. Why? Because some of us grew up in households where having a dissenting view means that people talked about you like a dog. So how do you teach people that it's okay to be an individual but still be part of a collective? And that's what that's what I like to try to teach people to do. Because I'm still in corporate America also. I'm still the only one. But I know that I have to teach people how to be okay in toxic environments, because the okay comes from here. Mm-hmm. And how to take yourself to another place to get replenished when you feel depleted. But that's why you need to have healthy friends, because if their cups are empty, they can't pull into your cup.
That is so true. And I think that you were doing it, even though you have those groups and everything else, but also with the books, with your anthologies, you're showing people that yes, you can be 27, 30 women and talk about one subject, but come at it 30 different ways.
Yes,
it's possible. And like a lot of people, they say that about our books. They're like, how do you guys do this? And you're like, because you have to be open to understanding that someone else is going to view it another way, and that's okay.
Yes. Like you said before about the conflict, about disagreeing, but not recognizing it as a conflict. There's no reason for us to like all fight against each other just because we disagree. And I would like to say on the friend thing, I'm going to do a shameless plug. I apologize.
Shameless.
Shameless plug. It's not even a plug time. But this book, And I Thought Being Grown Up Was Easy. Number 23 on the 25 things you should know before you're 25. And yes, if you've been in the audience, you've heard it before. But number 23 is like, you have to remember that your friends may become enemies, but your enemies can also teach you. Right? So like your enemies help you grow. And sometimes if you have that friend with that always empty cup, always with their hand up, like, can you pour something in my cup? That eventually when you're tired and you can't give anything else, that might become an enemy. But they've taught you something, and so did the enemy, and now you can both grow, and you can put scars, you can put salve on those wounds and make them scars. And I love that point that if you share from your open wounds, you're just bleeding on everyone. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I've always wanted to be able to say that so nicely.
I think there's a difference that what happens when we start getting scabs, that's when our strength comes. Because figuratively and literally, just think when you get an open wound, it's toxic. It can become infection. But what is that scab? That covering does something. And I think that great friends sometimes provide that covering for you until you can stand on your own. And I've been so blessed because I remember I suffered from debilitating depression for years in my 20s. I'm over 50 now, but in my 20s, it was.
Are you joking? I thought you were like 38.
No,
I'm great. Well, I knew you could.
Over 50, 51. And so it was in that place where I was so depressed that my friends had to stand for me. They had to stand for me without condemning me. And that was hard because I was always the strong one. And I think many times when people like both of you, I can tell that you're always the strong one. Now, what happens when we're the strong one? Our needs don't get met. Because everybody thinks that, oh, they don't need us. They got it. No, come help me get it. I don't got it, So I think it's really, really important that I think people who are always the strong ones, we suffer from a different type of poverty. Our poverty is that people don't help us. And when we ask for help, what happens? Then we get judgment. I thought you were strong. I thought you were all of that. And I tell people I'm all of that and some, but I still need help.
Right.
I think that's comes from a place of being okay with who you are. So that's why I admire you ladies and what you're doing. You're giving people a platform to tell the truth. So I celebrate you.
Well, we do like to tell the truth around here.
Yeah, we do.
We do. If anybody, you guys out there, I know you've read our books, and you know we be telling the truth sometimes.
Actually, we just had our the book reviewer on. She does a book every month. By the way, you guys, she's going to be
segment. So it's
new show. Actually, every month she's going to be doing a book. But anyway, when she read our book, she was like, "You just don't cut any edges. You just throw stuff out there." So I cannot wait for her to review y'all's book.
That's going to be nice.
I was like, I can't wait for that. That's going to be great. If you don't mind,
Oh, please.
If you want to ever
I'll be honored. One of the books that a lot of counselors and life strategists are using is my book called I've Learned a Few Things. And in that book, I don't know how many chapters, 50 plus chapters, but they're very short chapters. But it's a book that I really wanted people to reflect on life, love, and living. And the reason being is because many times we do life with people, but those are not the people. We live with people, but those are not the ones we should do life with. Mm-hmm. Book, I have the chapters, and after every chapter, I have a minimum of 10 questions. Why? Because I feel like, I love what Socrates said. He said, an unexamined life is not worth living. And many times we don't examine our lives. We just move from situation to situation to situation without pausing. Pauses are powerful. Mm-hmm. And anytime just to pause and say, okay, what happened? What did I learn about me? How did I show up? How did I support myself? how did I fail to honor myself?
Mm-hmm.
And who supported me? And who needs to who do I need to talk to because they supported me, but not in a way that satisfied and spoke to my soul? I mean, I think there's so many questions that we can ask ourselves to make sure we're getting what we need out of life. But we don't do that. The pause is where our power is, because you need some time to get clear. And the clear say, what do I need? What do I want? And what I don't want, and then have those conversations from a place of love. Because remember, our getting our needs met is our responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the number one thing, bottom base of the that lovely pyramid. And I can't remember that man's name. So I'm not actually intelligent in the morning, as you guys can tell. But the number one,
very intelligent. You talk about Maslow hierarchy of needs?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. That's exactly what we're talking about. I was like, wait, it's something of needs. What is it? Yeah.
Exactly. Well, the first one was about survival, like getting those needs met, and then the top ones are about knowing your emotional and spiritual and these sorts of needs. So I honestly, if I could talk to Maslow, I would be like, you need to put them both at the bottom, because everything else you can't really build unless you do like survival and that at the same time. But whatever.
Hey, well,
maybe it's because I have time to sit down and do this whole self-analyst thing and yeah. But yeah.
We're big into that.
Yeah,
but I guess it's more like this.
And I just think what you're doing is just so important, because you are doing the work that some people don't know how to do, and your books are going to teach them. Our stories teach people. Not only do our stories teach people, but they teach us. Because there's something about having to sit down and write your story and journaling.
Yes.
I tell people it's like a release of energy. That's what I tell my clients. Whatever you feel, write it out. Release the journey out of your body so you can look at it. Because many times if we leave it in our bodies, we can't look at it. And then sometimes when you look at it, you can say, this is some crazy stuff. Or I'm playing myself short. You can't analyze something you can't see.
Exactly.
It's very true. It's very true.
Yes.
As one of our authors, Scarlett Black, she's awesome. Like, we sing Scarlett's praises from here to London to anywhere, because she's just an awesome individual. But she told us when we were in London, she's like, oh, I've been journaling all my life since I was like 7 years old, and I'm now 62. So I journal. She's like, so I can see what's going on in my life, which is very interesting to me, but I like it. It's good.
Yeah, I started journaling in a day. We called it a diary. That's what we used to call it, a diary. And I remember I started keeping a diary when I was a young girl. And my first book, I Can Depend on Me, started off as my diary. And so I just looked at my diary and just took those information off and put it in a book. And that's how I started my writing career. It's just publishing my diary. So I think the diaries a journal is really important.
So I know we're like running out of time.
Yeah,
and I'm trying to ignore the clock completely, because we're already 2 minutes over, but I don't care. But I just wanted to ask one more question, if you don't mind. What do you think are the 4 biggest things we would need to know for safety and self-analysis from your viewpoint?
Oh, good question. I think that one of the things that we have to know is that clarity is our friend. And I think that we have to get clear to understand who we are and who we are not. And that's really important, because since we came into the world as a clean sheet of paper, we have had society and mamas and daddies and everybody's expectations and needs placed upon us, societal needs, and many of us don't know who we are. And so if you don't know who you are, you're not living your life. You're living someone else's life. So I think clarity is important. I think the second thing is courage. I always tell my clients, follow your conscience and not the crowd. And that's difficult. But you could only be courageous when you have clarity, because if not, you just keep doing stuff, and instead of being reflective, you will be reckless. So you have to have courage to stand, even if it means you have to stand alone. I think it's critical. I think the third thing that's so important is for people to have a sense of commitment. I think we, in our culture, we want everything to be easy. Healing is not easy. Success is not easy. Feeling away, our layers are not easy. Telling people, I'm sorry, you have been deleted from my life is not easy.
Yep.
Things are needed, but they're not. So what we do, if we're not courageous and have a commitment to holding our values to be true, we keep compromising. That's why people say, get in a relationship. If he hits me one time, I'm leaving. Well, now he's really knocking you upside the head. But if you were committed to your values the first time, you would have left. So I think that we compromise, and then we put ourselves in unhealthy situations. What's your commitment to yourself? Your vision, your values, your virtues, bam, nothing else. And then I think the fourth thing is to get a community, the right community. And that means that we have to be okay with people not looking like us, or believing like us, and not loving like us. I think many times we stay to our own groups, and sometimes that group is toxic because they have the same toxicity that we have. And sometimes we have to go outside and find a new community to have new energy, new life, new wisdom poured into our hearts. So those are the four things I think that are really key for any woman to move forward in their lives. And so I hope they move forward in their lives.
I'd like to say, you guys, what she really just told you is 4 steps to becoming an extra special diamond. Yes. Think about what happens when you shop for diamonds. Clear, cut, clarity, and then hopefully the good shop so they don't rip you off. So we have clarity, courage, community, and oh my goodness, why did I forget one?
Commitment.
Commitment. Exactly. So just like that diamond, when you're under the pressure, when you're under the ground, and it makes, to make a diamond, hard pressure, high temperatures, when you pop out, shining.
Just like the two of you, both of you are diamonds. Just like the both of you are just diamonds, and I'm so
not today. Not today. I'm not polished.
Girl, you know, you look a little rough around the edges today, but that's okay.
But tomorrow,
no, I think you both are beautiful, and I think the work that you're doing is beautiful, and I celebrate you. So
thank you. So where can people find us? So we have to wrap up, you guys. Yes. But where can people find you on the web, your books, all of that?
Sure. They can go on my website, www.Sharon Jamison. That's SharronJamison. My books are there. My blog is there. My videos are there. I have a YouTube channel that I just started. They can go there. My books are at all the stores, whoever the stores are, or they can get it at Amazon online. And if they go on my website right now and sign up for my mailing list, they'll get immediately a guide, a healing guide. But then I always send information every week to my mailing list because I believe that I'm in community with them. So please sign up, and I'm sending out some different tidbits to help people start to get emotionally prepared for 2017. And then also I have free webinars. Not all of them are free, but some of them are free, and people can pop on. I use Zoom, just like you use Zoom. That we can be in community with each other. So please go on my website, Sharon Jamison, Instagram, everything's my name. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything is Sharon Jamison. I kept it simple so I can remember it. So I hope that they connect with me, because I love to connect back. And my email is Sharon@SharonJamison.com. And if they email me, I will definitely email you back.
She's not lying. She actually does email you back, because I emailed and she emailed and they emailed us back. So hey, I was so surprised. I was like, oh, she got back to me quickly. This is nice.
It was nice. It was nice. Okay, well, you guys, as we're wrapping up, we are the end. I thought, well, wow, I can't even do it today. Yeah.
It's the cold. Guess what? Cold. So that means I get to stealthily steal the entire closing wrap up while she destroys my set. Anyway, we are the End I Thought ladies. I am Winona. She's Jade. You're going to hear it again at the end because I'm not used to doing this wrap up. But I look cute doing it though, don't I? Anyway, we are the co-authors, co-founders, and co-hosts of the show, of course, of the End I Thought ladies. Also of the speaking groups. We wrote the books. Well, not all of us. Not just the 2 of us. It's 5 of us in here. And I Thought Divorce Was Bad. And I Thought Being Grown Up.
She's talking about me.
And I was waiting.
And I thought I could juggle it all. And I thought I did my journey alone.
Guess what, you guys? We still need prayers, positive thinking, and everything we can, because we really, really, really want that nomination. Because you know how cute I would look on the red carpet? We need it. Positive thoughts.
Nomination. We need it. But all of these books are available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and you can have us do a chicken scratch thing to you, but we will sign it and be ever
Your name
so
will
happy.
be legible, though.
Your name will be legible.
Yeah, we'll practice it before we write that whole thing in.
Anyway. They made computers for me for a reason. But my point is that we will sign it to you and be happy to send it to you. And you can go on andwethought.com.
Yeah. So we would like to thank Sharon Jamison for
Sharon.
being Sharon. See, this is why we don't introduce people. No, this is what I get.
We'd like to thank Ms. Jamison for being on with us today. And we will always want to remind you guys that wisdom is all around you if.
Let's hope I get this right. You're open to finding it and accepting it. What? Hold up.
Yes, high five.
I even messed it up in London. So anyway, it's just a piece of love from Winona
and Jade.
Bye-bye, you guys.